Lessons from Esther. Yesterday we saw our dignity and worth, and today I want to remind you of your value. We see how the king has decided with his royal men and wise men that they need a new queen. And so they give him this advice found in Esther chapter 1 verse 19. So if it please the king, we suggest that you issue a written decree, a law of the Persians and Medes that cannot be revoked. It should order that Queen Vashti be banished forever from the presence of King Xerxes, and that the king should choose another queen more worthy than she. That is very powerful, and what a direct decree that they had said, that he had to choose a queen that was more worthy than Queen Vashti. And so you think to yourself, well, what was more worthy than Queen Vashti? And that is where God is so sneaky, because that is when Esther comes into the story. And we find it in Esther chapter 2, verse 5 to 7. At that time there was a Jewish man in the fortress of Susa, whose name was Mordecai, son of Jar. He was from the tribe of Benjamin and was a descendant of Kish and Shimei. His family had been among those who, with King Jehoiachin of Judah, had been exiled from Jerusalem to Babylon by King Nebuchadnezzar. This man had a very beautiful and lovely young cousin, Hadassah, who was also called Esther. When her father and mother died, Mordecai adopted her into his family and raised her as his own daughter. You see, here we see the history behind Esther. And you may say, well, what is more valuable than Queen Vashti? Let me tell you what more valuable looks like in this story. She was from the tribe of Benjamin, which was the smallest and the youngest tribe in all of Israel. She's been exiled, so she's a prisoner of war. She's not even in her own country. And lastly, she's an orphan. She's been adopted by her uncle, and he's looking after her. But you know what? God doesn't look at our history. He doesn't look at our past. He doesn't look at the country we've been born in or our circumstances to determine our value. Queen Esther is a story of how God can use somebody who should have been a nobody, and yet he doesn't look at her past. He sees her future. I want to remind you today that maybe you've been looking at your past. Maybe you've heard the voices of other people, of society, of the wise men saying we need to find someone more valuable. And you're feeling disqualified because of where you've come from. But let's look at these wonderful scriptures. In Philippians 3, verse 13 to 14, it says, "Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on towards the goal to win the prize for which God had called me heavenward in Christ Jesus." In Isaiah 43, verse 18 to 19, it says, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." And I'm going to finish with Psalm 37, verse 1 to 6. "Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteousness reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun." Don't let your past disqualify you. You are valuable. Just like Esther didn't let her past, her circumstances, her family background define her. What they didn't know was a queen was on the horizon, and God was going to use her to save his nation. Dwell on that today. You are valuable not because of your past, but of who you are, and because he's with you in your future. And always remember, you are highly favored and